Hello, my people. Welcome to Afrobeat Discipline. My name is Muna Indidibonge. Today, introducing episode 1, From Mentor to Disciple. Transmission, heritage, and creative sovereignty. The relationship between a mentor and a disciple is like the relationship between a needle and a thread. When the disciple is ready, the mentor appears. The mentor exposes his heart. The disciple receives it. He agrees with it. He applies it. He develops it. And eventually, he makes it real. In the introduction of this program, I explained that this space exists to share my spiritual relationship with Afrobeat music. I also said that I wanted, above all, to speak about my artistic experience alongside one of the great masters and creators of Afrobeat music, Anthony Oladipo Allen. If I have a spiritual relationship with Afrobeat music, then I also have a spiritual relationship with the person who transmitted this knowledge to me, the one I call my mentor. That is why this episode is titled From Mentor to Disciple. Because receiving an education of this importance goes beyond the intellect. It is a spiritual foundation without beginning and without end. This foundation is what gives legitimacy to the disciples' work to extend the mentor's knowledge and to carry it forward in continuity. In 2014, I released my debut album, Squatting at Neverland. On this album, there is a track titled Highlife Suites, Alenko. Alenko is the nickname of Anthony Oladipo Allen, whom I introduced in the opening episode of this podcast. Usually, people honor the mentor after he is gone. I chose to do it on my first album while he was still alive. I selected this track for this episode not only because it is a tribute to my mentor, but also because it belongs to those high-life compositions with an Afrobeat color. As I mentioned before, Afrobeat music has its roots in highlife. I called this track Highlife Suites Alenko because it is built on 4 different variations. Hence, the idea of a suite. The first variation is titled Sisanele, the encounter, the coming together. This variation tells the story of my meeting with my mentor. We chose each other. This variation is built on a descending bass line in E-flat like all the other 3 variations. There is no modulation except that during the improvisation part, the harmony remains in E-flat but becomes free. I like this way of treating improvisation in the spirit of Ornette Coleman and also Pat Metheny. I will explain in a future episode how my encounter with my mentor actually happened. Sisanele. The second variation is titled Besoedi, the Discovery. This variation represents the discovery of my mentor's art, his genius. I felt that I was in the right place, that this was the person with whom I would walk my spiritual path in music. This is the main variation of the suite. It defines my spiritual realization with him. This is where Alenko truly lives. It has a more tonal character than the other variations. Besoedi. The third variation is titled Jemea, consent. In Douala language, Jemea also means will, acceptance, and even vow. Like the three other variations, it is also in E flat. It expresses the will of two energies that accept each other and decide to face life's adversity together. There are many contradictions. It ends with the same phrase as the first variation. The first and the third variations are complementary. They act as anchor points of Besoide, which returns twice. After that comes the improvisation part, which I do not present in the videos here. Jemea. The fourth variation is titled Bibam Sedi Approval. When two entities approve and agree on what must be accomplished. I said earlier that the mentor and the disciple choose each other. But fundamentally, it is the disciple who chooses the mentor. This variation is also in E flat with a deliberately imposed modal character. I believe that tonal music in general does not always allow us to connect spiritually with our essential self. That is why I feel close to the music of Ornette Coleman, Miles Davis in his modal and fusion periods, and the most spiritual of all, to me, John Coltrane. Coltrane reminds me of Bantu music and that of the Bacchus people. True masters of permutations. Bibam Sedi. Thank you for listening. Stay connected and looking forward to the next episode. Bye bye.